In late 2017, the world of astronomy was rocked by a discovery that challenged everything we thought we knew about the universe. A strange, cigar-shaped object had entered our solar system, not from the asteroid belt or the Kuiper belt, but from deep interstellar space. Traveling at astonishing speeds, this enigmatic visitor didn't match the profile of any known celestial body. It wasn't long before astronomers gave it a name: Oumuamua, meaning scout or messenger in Hawaiian. Initially classified as a possible comet or asteroid, Oumuamua quickly baffled scientists with its unusual behavior. Unlike comets, it had no visible tail or coma, no gas or dust emission that typically forms as ice vaporizes near the sun. And unlike asteroids, its trajectory couldn't be explained by gravitational forces alone. As it left the inner solar system, it unexpectedly accelerated, as if pushed by some unseen force. This motion couldn't be chalked up to solar radiation pressure alone, not at the scale observed. The object's shape was also deeply unusual: long, narrow, and highly reflective. No natural celestial body had ever been observed with these properties. Some astronomers suggested it might be a shard of a larger interstellar object, perhaps debris from a planetary collision. But others were less convinced. One of the most controversial hypotheses came from Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, who suggested that Oumuamua could be an artificial construct, possibly a probe sent by an advanced alien civilization. While many dismissed Loeb's theory as speculative, it captured the imagination of the public and reignited debate about the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence. After all, humanity had launched its own deep space probes, such as Voyager 1 and 2, equipped with golden records designed to communicate our presence to distant worlds. Was it so implausible that another civilization might do the same? But before scientists could study Oumuamua more closely, it was gone. Hurtling through space at nearly 196,000 miles per hour, the object soon became too distant to observe in detail. We had missed our chance, and for years it seemed like we might never get another. Then the unthinkable happened. In the early 2020s, astronomers began detecting a new object moving along a trajectory eerily similar to Oumuamua's. At SAO, first it was considered a coincidence, a random interstellar body taking a similar path. But then another object appeared, and another, each with the same elongated shape, each reflecting sunlight strangely, each accelerating in ways that defied natural explanation. Soon it became clear that this was no coincidence. These new visitors weren't behaving like random debris from space. They weren't tumbling aimlessly through the void. Instead, they appeared to be moving with purpose, traveling in what some described as a loosely coordinated formation. It was as if they were part of a fleet. Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX and a leading voice in space exploration, called the discovery the most important event in modern human history. He was not alone in his concern. Across the globe, space agencies, academic institutions, and private aerospace firms scrambled to understand what was happening. Had Oumuamua really been a solitary scout, or was it just the beginning of a much larger story? This time, humanity was determined not to be caught off guard. NASA quickly proposed a mission to intercept one of the objects using existing rocket technology. China's CNSA unveiled its own plans to launch a fast-track probe. The European Space Agency, eager to join the effort, suggested modifying a current mission to approach one of the incoming bodies. Even private companies like Blue Origin and Rocket Lab expressed interest in joining what had suddenly become the most ambitious and urgent race in the history of space exploration. Behind the scenes, governments began holding classified meetings. Intelligence agencies were briefed. Satellite networks were repositioned to provide constant observation. What had once been a purely scientific endeavor was now being treated as a matter of national and possibly planetary security. The More data scientists collected. The stranger things became. These new objects, like Oumuamua, had no visible means of propulsion. Yet they accelerated and changed direction as if guided by intelligence or technology far beyond our understanding. One object even altered its trajectory shortly after, being scanned by deep space radar, a maneuver so subtle that it might have gone unnoticed if not for meticulous tracking. Was it reacting to being observed? Was it aware? Some researchers began to consider radical theories. Perhaps these were probes, autonomous, self-repairing machines sent across the galaxy to explore and monitor intelligent life. Others speculated that the objects could be part of a surveillance network, possibly millions of years old, quietly watching and waiting. The more alarming interpretations suggested that these were not just observational tools, but precursors to something more significant or more threatening. And then came the most chilling development yet. As observatories around the world refined their tracking models, it was discovered that one of the objects was slowly, subtly adjusting its path. Not away from the solar system like Oumuamua, but inward, toward Earth. The course changes were minimal but consistent, suggesting intentional maneuvering. Natural objects do not steer. This one seemed to be doing just that. Could it be aiming for our planet, or simply preparing for a flyby to gather data? No one could say for certain. But the implications were staggering. The response was swift. Telescopes and radio arrays across the globe were locked onto the object. Software algorithms were reprogrammed to scan for signals or patterns. SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, launched a round-the-clock listening campaign, hoping to detect any form of communication. Meanwhile, private discussions among world leaders focused on contingency plans, though exactly what kind of contingency would be appropriate was unclear. How do you prepare for a first contact? Or for an encounter with technology, possibly thousands or millions of years more advanced? Publicly, officials remained tight-lipped. The information trickled out through leaks and academic speculation. But the message was clear. This was unprecedented. Humanity had spent decades scanning the skies for signs of life, beaming radio signals into the void, hoping for a reply. Now something, or someone, might be answering. Among the more speculative ideas was the theory that these objects had been visiting Earth all along, perhaps even in ancient times. Historians and ufologists pointed to accounts of strange sightings throughout human history, unexplained aerial phenomena, sudden bursts of light in the sky, legends of gods descending from the heavens. Could these myths have been rooted in real encounters? Were the interstellar visitors part of a long-term study of our species, observing our evolution, our wars, our technology? Alternatively, some researchers believed these events were part of a cosmic pattern. They cited unexplained fast radio bursts, odd gravitational anomalies, and sudden changes in star brightness across the galaxy. Events that, taken together, might hint at a broader interstellar intelligence network. What if these objects were messengers or couriers, linking civilizations across vast distances? Or worse, what if they were scouts for an invasive force? Despite the growing anxiety, one fact remained. We didn't know. All we could do was watch, analyze, and prepare. For contact, for revelation, or for something far more mysterious. Now, the scientific world stands on the edge of a precipice. Never before has so much attention, technology, and global coordination been focused on a single mystery. The return of Oumuamua and the arrival of its apparent companions may soon force us to redefine our place in the cosmos. Are we truly alone, or are we already being watched? As we wait for answers, one thing is certain. The universe is far stranger and more complex than we ever imagined. Whether these interstellar objects are natural phenomena or the emissaries of an advanced civilization, their presence is rewriting the rules of astronomy, physics, and perhaps even history. And so we leave you with the most important question of all. What comes next?